प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Welcome you all to the next session on the Indic knowledge landscape and overview. Gradually, after discussing about the Vedas and the Vedangas, we have traveled in the UPANGAS and covered some of the topics like Nyaya and Vaiseshika. We also discussed about Tarka Sangraha in our previous session. All of these are belonging to the Chaturdasha Vidyasthanas. Now, today we are going to take up the next Darshana, that is Sankhya Darshana. So, what are the core concepts of Sankhya? It is the dualistic realism, you can say. There are two realities, that is Prakriti, Purusha and Prakriti. Then there are three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. It talks about the Parimanavada, Prakriti Parinamavada. And this system talks about dukkha, sufferings. And here, if we look at this Karika, 70th Karika, it says, Etat pavitram agriyam munihi asuraya anukampaya pradadau asurirapi panchashikhaya tena bahudha kritam tantram. So this Karika says, this supreme purifying knowledge was imparted by sage Kapila to Asuri out of compassion. Then the Rishi Asuri taught this Sankhya system, Sankhya Darshana, to Rishi called Panchashikha, from whom this was propounded extensively. So the 70th Karika talks about how this knowledge system was spread. Then tat karanam Sankhya Yogadhigamyam, Shvetashvatara Upanishad talks about that cause which is to be apprehended by discrimination and discipline, Sankhya and Yoga. Then we also find reference to this system in the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata, and different Bhagavata Purana also talks in detail about Sankhya Darshana. Then if we come to the word Sankhya, how do we arrive at the word Sankhya? It is Sam Upasarga Purvaka. Khya Dhatu. Sam is the prefix, Khya is the root. So Khya means to explain, to make famous, to elocute, and so many meanings are there. To calculate, like that. And if you look at the Hindi meaning, prakhyat karna, vyakhyan karna, khya, that word khya, as having multiple meanings when it is added with different prefixes. If we add V to the khya dhatu, then it is prakhyat hona, to become famous. Some khya will be to count. Samakhya will be to name. Then Pratyakhya will be to condemn. Then like this, different meanings with different prefixes are arrived at. Here, for our purpose, it is the general enumerative analysis in the form of classification and division. Then, what is this enumerative analysis? There are multiple. If you look at the twofold enumeration in Sankhya system, you have this Purusha and Prakriti as the two main principles. Then it talks about Atyantataha Abhavaha, Ekantataha Abhavaha. So what is this Anushrava? Anushrava is Veda because it is being heard by the disciple when the Guru is uttering. That is following the Guru's utterance, Anushrava. It is only memorized. Though it is Vedic, a host of rituals are prescribed to remove threefold pain in the system in general. And for example, they talk about immortality. We drank soma and became immortal. Indicates here immortality indicates not an eternal living. It talks about a longer life than the other. But Shruti says renunciation alone takes one to that stage. That means there is two kinds of abhavas. Solutions like temporary solutions are there, permanent solutions are there. So this system talks about renunciation as the important aspect of that immortality. Then there are the material world is of twofold actually, Vyakta and Avyakta according to Sankhya Darshana. Then it talks about Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas, types of organs. The 23 categories which are talked about in the system are divided into two classes. One is Prakriti, another one is Vikriti. There are two types of objects that do not come within the scope of perception. That is Atindriya and Paroksha. So when we say Atindriya, what happens? It is transcendental things which are beyond our reach, you can say. Alaukika. So they cannot be perceived through these indriyas. Then Paroksha is, it does not come under. Yes, Jaita, any questions?
No, this one only. What is the difference between the two? Like the one is like cannot beyond senses, and other is cannot be directly perceived.
Yes, that's what I am explaining now. So this Paroksha is like stars appearing at quite at a distant place, you can say. They in the space, in the sky, when the stars are far away, they can only be seen through a telescope and not to the they are not visible to the naked eye. That is Paroksha. Atindriya is something alaukika, that is transcendental. Only that inner experience, that is Atindriya.
So like you know it is there, but you cannot actually see it, kind of
Yes,
thing.
yes,
Paroksha.
yes. It is,
Okay.
yeah. It Atindriya is only you can experience it. It
Mm.
cannot be seen.
Okay.
Okay. Then, if you go to the threefold enumeration, there it talks about dukkha. Dukkha is misery or suffering, which is of three types: adhyatmika, adi daivika, and adi bhautika. So here, adi daivika is like supernatural agencies like yaksha, rakshasa, kinnara, or whatever, like ativrishti, anavrishti, all these things come under adi daivika, miseries. Miseries caused because of yaksha, rakshasa, kinnara, whatever. Then adi bhautika is external influences like manushya, pashu, pakshi, all these things causing some misery to us. Then adhyatmika is intra-organic, you can say. So here what happens? It is again of two types, sharirika and manasika. Sharirika is like tridosha janya. There's kapha, vata, pitta. There is an imbalance of kapha, vata, pitta. And due to that, we get fever or something else, some other problems, health issues. Such things are sharirika. And manasika is arishad varga, like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, because of jealousy, greed. These things cause a lot of misery to us. So, dukkha is of three types: adhyatmika, adi daivika, and adi bhautika. And when you go to the ahankara, that is also of three types: Vaikrita ahankara, bhutadi ahankara, then taijasa ahankara. Here, what happens? Uh, Prakriti also consists of three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. The pramanas in this system, in Sankhya system, also are of three types: pratyaksha, direct perception; anumana is inference; then shabda, that is aptavachanam shabda. Then again, Anumana is of three types: Purvavat, Sheshavat, Samanyataha, Drishtaha. What is this Purvavat Anumana? Like when you look at dark clouds, you immediately understand that it is going to rain. That is Purvavat. Karanat Karyam, they say. Then Sheshavat, like when you taste the water of sea, immediately you know that the entire sea water is salty. That is karyat karanam. Then samanyataha drishtaha. You see a person at a place, then again after some time, or after a long time also, when you see the same person at another place or in some other attire, you are able to relate that he is the same person who has been seen earlier. That is samanyataha drishtaha. Then the functions of the organs are aharana, dharana, prakashakara. Aharana is inducing through karmendriyas. Dharana is retaining through buddhi. Then prakashakara is clearness, visible, brightness, all those things. And antahkarana is made of three principles: mahat or buddhi, ahankara, and manas. And mahat is the comprehension, intelligence, judgment. All those things happen at the mahat level. Ahankara is I, me, myself, that kind of process, you can say, thought process. Manas, the mind. So Antahkarana is of three principles. Then, if we come to Vishesha, the specific objects, they are of three types: Sukshma, Mata Pitraja, and then Prabhuta. Sukshma is the subtle atomic or intangible objects. Mata Pitraja is born through parents or ancestors. You have ancestry. So that is Mata Pitraja. Then Prabhuta, which forms mass of inorganic nature, risen, appeared, and such things. When we go to fourfold enumeration, there we have this dharma. Dharma talks about daya, dana, niyama, and yama. So that is daya is mercy, to be compassionate about others. Dana is giving, helping others. Niyama is the obligations which need to be performed. Then yama are the restraints which we have to follow. Then Adi Bhautika Dukkha, which we talked about earlier, it is also of four types. That is Jarayuja, Andaja, Svedaja, Udbhija. Jarayuja is creatures born out of wombs, mammals you call them, like humans, cows, etc. Andaja is those born out of eggs, like birds. Svedaja is those that are born out of sweat or moisture, like mosquitoes. Then Udbhija, that is plants. They ut bhit ja. Ut is coming up, bhit to break, then ja is taking birth, you can say, taken birth. So plants belong to this category. Then the sattvika forms of buddhi are fourfold: dharma, jnana, vairagya, aishwarya. Here, aishwarya means not this material wealth. It is animadi siddhis, they say. Anima, mahima, chaiva, garima, laghima, tatha, praptih, prakamyamishitvam, vashitvam, chashta siddhayaha, says Amarakosha. So, the same way, sattvika forms are dharma, jnana, vairagya, aishwarya. We all know we need to follow these things. Then, tamasic forms of buddhi are also fourfold, which are just opposites of dharma: jnana, vairagya, and aishwarya. That is adharma, ajnana, anaishwarya, avairagya. So all the time we are going for these material comforts and greed for wealth or power or fame or whatever. They all come under this category. Then Karika 46 and 47 talk about pratyaya sarga. What is this pratyaya sarga? It is the conception, notion, or cause of anything, creation of the intellect, and it is again divided into viparyaya, ashakti, tushti, and siddhi. Viparyaya is wrong perception. Ashakti is inability or incapability, you can say. Tushti is satisfaction, contentment. Siddhi is accomplishment, performance, attainment, success, whatever you want to call it. Then there are four types of internal satisfaction: Prakriti, Upadana, Kala, and Bhagya. Prakriti is nature. Upadana is the cause or the motive behind some action. Then Kala is time. Bhagya is fate or destiny. So this system believes in fate, destiny also. So this can be found in Karika 50. Then if we come to fivefold enumeration, the Adi Daivika Dukkha, the misery caused by the Daiva or karma, is fivefold. Shita, Ushna, Vata, Varsha, Ashani. Shita, cold, Ushna is heat, Vata is air, Varsha is rains, all those things. Then the Avyakta, the unmanifest as the cause, does exist. So this how they prove this unmanifest as the cause is Bhedanam Parimanat, Samanvayat, Shaktitah Pravruttah, Karana Karya Vibhagah, Vishwarupa Avibhagah. So there, if you Parimanat, if you say, I think this is Parinama. There is typing error. So it is transformation into change or alteration, you can call it. Then Samanvayat is regular succession. Shaktitah pravruttah, powered by activity. Karana Karya Vibhagah, that is cause and effect. Then Vishwarupa Avibhagah, that is a multiplicity, diversity, all those things. Then there are 5 types of subtle essences like Shabda Tanmatra, Sparsha Tanmatra, Rupa Tanmatra, Rasa Tanmatra. They all belong to Shabda, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Sparsha. The sense organs for these are Chakshuhu, Shrotra, Grana, Rasana, Tvat. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Organs of action are Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha. Then gross elements are Akasha, Vayu, Tejas, and Prithvi. Then these mutual activities of the gunas, the Sattva, Rajas, and Tamo guna, they have activities which are helping each other, you can say. That is again fivefold. Anyonya Abhibhava. When one becomes active for some purpose, it dominates over the other. Like if Sattva guna is dominant, so it will be it will be suppressing tamas and rajas, like that. Anyonya ashraya. So it is dependent, mutual support. Each of the gunas support each other for some activity. Then anyonya janana, mutually productive. So one produces its effects resting upon the other two, but it is not dominating the other two. Then this production means it is some modification, you can say. Then Anyonya Mithuna is mutually cooperative. The gunas are mutual consorts, like Sattva is the consort of Rajas, Rajas is the consort of Sattva. Both of them are consorts of Tamas, like that. Then there are 5 Vayus, vital airs, you say, no? So Amarakosha talks about हृदि प्राणो गुदेपानः समानो नाभिमण्डले उदानः कण्ठदेशस्थः व्यानः सर्वशरीरगः. So the heart region, the air that takes care of the heart region is pranavayu. Apanavayu is the air that helps in the excretion. Vyana is the Vyanaha Sarvashariragaha, entire body for the movement of blood, for blood circulation and other activities. Vyana Vayu helps. Then Samana Vayu is in the Nabhi, that is that helps in the digestion process. Udanaha Kantadeshastha. For speech and other activities, that air which helps in those activities, it moves around in the Kantha, that is throat region. Thus, there are 5 vital airs in our body. And if you look at the viparyayaha, so what are they? False knowledge, delusion, blinding gloom, all those things. They are also 5-fold. Tamas, moha, mahamoha, tamisra, andhatamisra, like that. Then there are 5 types of animal creation talked about in the Sankhya Darshana. Pashu, Mriga, Pakshi, Sarisripa, Sthavara and Bhuta. Pashu is animals like domestic animals, you can say. Mriga is wild animals. Pakshi is birds. Sarisripa is serpents and other things. Sthavaras are like plants and trees which cannot move elsewhere. They are stay put at a place. Then Bhutani, other creatures. Then there are 5 reasons in support of Satkaryavad. What are they? Asat akaranat, upadana grahanat, sarva sambhava abhavat, shaktasya shakya karanat, karana bhavat. So for this I won't elaborate because it is quite difficult to understand in 1 or 2 sentences. You can go through this. I'll give you the links and you can read in detail and try to understand what it is about. Then there are 5 reasons enumerated to prove the existence of Purusha. So people keep questioning, how do you prove that Purusha exists? So the Sankhya Darshana says, Sanghataha Trigunadi Viparyayat Adhishtanat Bhoktru Bhavat Kaivalya. So Sanghataha Parartha. Oh, I think it is left out. Pararthatvat. So what it says is, because all composite products are for the sake of another's use, Trigunadi Viparyayat, because of the absence of 3 gunas and other properties, Adhishtanat, because there must be some controlling agency or authority. Then Bhoktru Bhavat, because there must be an experiencer. Then Kaivalyartham. So Pravrittehe Kaivalyartham. That is because of the tendency of activities towards final beatitude, Purushaha Asti. So what kind of characteristics this Purusha has? Again, that is also 5-fold. Sakshitva is Purusha. It is established that the Purusha is a witness. Kaivalyatva, he is solitary. Madhyasthya, he is neutral. He doesn't take sides or he doesn't do any activity, that is his stay put. Then Drashtratva, he is a seer. Then Akartru Bhava, he is a non-agent. Then if we go to 6-fold enumerations, what does this talk about? Yes, Chaita?
Mahodaya, it is quite difficult to imagine what this is, but I suppose because this is beyond buddhi anyway, so you cannot actually comprehend what this would be, right?
Yeah.
These 5 things you enumerated, the qualities of the Purusha.
Yes. It is like God. When we think of God, can we limit his his characteristics?
No.
That same way, but they have given some. These are the main characteristics But you have to read in detail, then only you will be able to comprehend how beautiful this system is also. I inquired with many scholars actually. Recently, I met some scholars. When I inquired with them, they said, "Oh, no, 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 Sankhya is, we don't want to discuss Sankhya." But it's a very good system. But practicing this system is quite difficult. That is there.
Mm, mm. No, I was doing the Vishnu Sahasranama in that,
Uh-huh.
and that he's saying Gita also, no, that in the it says Sankhya is the
Uh-huh.
calls Kapilacharya, who is the
Yes.
proponent of Sankhya, as the
Uh,
Shrestha of all the Munis. So this
yes.
is obviously then that this is very, very, very valuable, this
Yes,
philosophy.
yes. This is quite valuable and very interesting actually. If
Mm,
see, all our miseries are caused by us only. We are responsible for all our miseries, isn't it?
mm,
Hmm. So this
true.
talks about so many ways to come out of those miseries. See, what happens is in Vedas, there are solutions to our problems also. But when we take only certain solutions, like Jyotishtomena Yajeta, you go to Swarga if you do Jyotishtomayaga. So what happens? You go to Swarga, but what happens? Once that punya is whatever you have acquired, that punya, that once that is finished, again you have to come back. So that is not a permanent solution. That is what this system is telling us. So go for permanent solution, go for renunciation. That is
Mm.
what is being expressed. So beautiful. Hmm?
Mm.
Huh.
Mhodaya, please do send more reading links on the Sankhya. I would like to find out more. Little
Yeah.
bit from Gita, what I have read, only that much only. I mean, Gita also is not easy, right? But little
Yes.
bit only I know about it, so
Yes.
not
Yes.
much.
Yeah. See,
Dhanyawad.
these systems, they have done a lot of research actually. Hmm, and come out with the best possible solutions for us. But we find it boring to go through these topics. That is the thing. Anyhow, we will continue with this. So this Vyakta, the manifest Pradhana, hmm, it has some aspects like composed of three constituents like Guna, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, then non-discriminated, objective, common to all spirits, non-intelligent, productive, and all those things. Then when you go to sevenfold enumerations, like dharma, adharma, vairagya, avairagya, aishwarya, anaishwarya, ajnana. So there are these are called saptarupa, through which the Prakriti binds herself to herself. Here, what happens? This eight causes of non-perception they talk about. It is atidurat, samipyat, indriya ghatat, manonavasthanat, saukshmyat, vyavadhanat, abhibhavat, samanabhiharat. So atidurat, what is this atidurat? When objects are at very far excessive distance, we are unable to perceive them properly. Then when objects are very close to the eyes, like women applying kajal to their eyes, so they themselves cannot perceive it, isn't it? Very close, proximity is too much. Then indriya ghatat, then some indriya is affected, like a blind person cannot see, a deaf person cannot hear, all those things. Then manonavasthanat, when you have absent-mindedness, things will be in front of you, but you will be searching for the same thing in all over the house. You will be searching for that. because your mind is elsewhere, absent-mindedness. Then saukshmyat, very subtle objects also cannot be perceived. Then vyavadhanat, there is intervention, like a wall between two rooms. You cannot see what is there in the next room. Then abhibhavat, suppression by excess light or brightness, like sunlight blurs the stars in the sky during the daytime. Then samanabhiharat, intermixture with other similar objects, uh, grains of the same size, color, shape, and all those things. Here I can recollect one story which I read in Chandamama in my childhood. There is one ghost, mother ghost, and her son, young boy ghost. The boy ghost is quite naughty, and the mother wants to says one day what happens when the mother ghost is unable to bear the naughtiness of the baby, the boy ghost, she says, I'll send you to human beings to stay with them. So the boy ghost asks, mother, why are you so afraid of human beings? So come, I'll show you. She takes the boy there, and there is one shopkeeper. What he is doing, when he is selling grains like rice and other items, and when the people are not there, when buyers are not there, he has asked his assistants to mix some stones, small pebbles which are of the color of the rice grain, of the rice, and same size as rice, same shape and size, color, everything, to mix those pebbles in the rice. So when the boy goes and questions him, why are you doing this? People will be, their health will be spoiled. So he says, come, I'll make you also to do this work for me. So that boy runs away, and he realizes that his mother is true. So it's a beautiful story, how we tend to, because of our greed, how we tend to uh, affect other people's health also with our carelessness or greed or whatever. So that's just a story. Then this eightfold enumeration is found in this siddhis. Anima, Mahima, Chaiva, Garima, Laghima, Tatra, Praptihi, Prakamyam, Ishitvam, Vashitvam. Then what are the core concepts of Sankhya Darshana? It is dualism. It is a metaphysics of dualistic realism. So it attributes the evolution of the universe to the proximity, Sannidhi Matra, of the two ultimate principles, Purusha and Prakriti. Then the Pramanas talked about in this system are Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Aptavachana, Shabda. Then if we look at the Pramanas, first we have to understand that there is a Pramata, which is the subject, then Prameya, which is the object, then Pramana, which is the medium to understand the object. Pramata is the conscious principle that receives and recognizes knowledge. Then it is none other than the self. Pure consciousness is Pramata. Prameya is the object of knowledge that is presented to the self. Then pramana is through which the self comes to know about the object. This is the concept in Sankhya Darshana. Valid knowledge is the reflection of the self in the intellect, which is modified into the form of an object. The Sankhya concept of perception as a source of valid knowledge is different from those propounded by other systems, you can say. In Sankhya, valid knowledge means a definite and unerring cognition that is illuminated or made known by the self through its reflected light in buddhi. So, the mind, intellect, and senses are unconscious material entities and therefore cannot perceive or experience any object. Then, for perception or experience, consciousness is needed, and that belongs only to the self. And there are some proponents of the Sankhya theory of reflectionism, like Vijnana Bhikshu and Vachaspati Mishra. And then when we have this Pratyaksha is also of two types, indeterminate and determinate. First one is called Alochana. That is merely seeing the object. It arises at the moment of contact between the senses and the object and is immediately perceivable. Then there is, here there is a recognition of the object as a mere something without any recognition. There is no what is that object, what are the details, all those things are not there. Determinate perception, in contrast, is the result of the analysis, synthesis, and all those things, interpretation of sensory organs, of sensory data by the mind. This is called vivechana, alochana and vivechana, you can see. Then this anumana pramana, inference, is derived through the universal or invariable relationship between two things. This is also of two types, vita and avita. Universal negative proposition. Vita is based on universal affirmative proposition, you can say. Again, vita is of two types. Purvavat samanyato drishtaha, what we discussed earlier. Like Purvavat is Parvataha Vanhiman Dhuma. So we have seen smoke near a mountain. So immediately we conclude that there must be fire behind the Parvata. Parvataha Vanhiman Dhuma, because there is smoke coming out. Then Samanyataha Drishtaha is like we have so many senses. Still, we cannot understand that there are some organs in our this thing, our body, to understand them. Then how do we infer? So for all actions, some kind of instrument is needed. Seeing, hearing, smelling, all those things, tasting and touching. They must have some corresponding instruments or indriyas, you can say. Then avita is negative inference. So what you do is a certain whole number is inferred to be number 2, because it has been determined that it is not 3 or any other number, and it is a certain positive integer, therefore it is two only. Like that we infer. So we eliminate all other things and come to the conclusion that it is this only. That is a kind of Anumana Pramana. Then Shabda Pramana is very similar to what the Nyaya system talks about. Then the Sankhya system has adopted concepts from Rigveda, like Purusha Sukta, then Hiranyagarbha Sukta. Then there are some concepts from Aitareya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, then Kathopanishad, and they are all welded into a beautiful system called Sankhya Darshana. Then he also talks about the concept called teleology. It's a what do you say? Teleo is end or purpose. Huh? Then it means the logos is discourse. It means the interpretation in terms of purpose. So Sankhya system belongs to the immanent teleology, you can say. Then all objects of the world show a creative process of evolution. Even the inorganic things cannot be completely explained in the mechanical terms. The concept denying the universe is simply mechanical presents the view that the force working in the universe is not fundamentally blind and mechanical, but it is intelligent and there is a purpose behind it. Then the system talks about Satkaryavada, Parinamavada. Then we have this Purusha and Prakriti, which talks Purusha by logical implication is postulated to account for the subjective aspect of nature. It is eternal and indestructible. It is without activity, uncaused, changeless. It is always same. There is no change in, there is no transformation in it. It is the efficient cause, nimitta karana of the universe. Then this Purusha, as presented in Rigveda, Purusha Sukta, does not show any explicit similarity with that of the Sankhya dualism, you can say. Only concepts are taken from there, not the entire Purusha Sukta as it is. Then in Bhagavad Gita, it is used in the sense of individual soul, this Purusha concept. Then we have this Prakriti, which is also referred by two other names, Pradhana, then Avyakta, unmanifest. So the word Prakriti is pra and then krit here, typing error. To make or to produce means that which existed before anything was produced. The primary source of all things, the original substance from which all things have evolved. Then Prakriti has these gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Then Mahat is the third principle postulated by Sankhya philosophy. Then here Samyavastha, Gunakshobha, all those things they talk about. Then Ahankara is the principle of individuality. It is the fourth principle, you can say. So Purusha, Prakriti, then what was the third one? Mahat. Then Ahankara, then just a minute. Manas. Manas is the fifth principle. So thus we have these principles, 5 principles. Then Jnanendriyas, how Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas act. And then the tanmatras, subtle elements. Then we have this subtle body. It is considered as the invisible vehicle of the soul. Then there are bhavas, the connection between the subtle bodies and then the bhavas. Then the bhutas are there, gross elements. It talks about gross elements. Then it also talks about there is a continuous swarupa parinam, change into the homogeneous. And then we have this metaphysics in Sankhya Darshana. It's a very important concept that investigates the first principles of nature and thought. So applied to anything transcendental and supernatural. There is a great desire for knowledge in this system also. Then this system also is trying to bring a solution to the sufferings of human beings, which are of threefold. Thus, then avidya, this system talks about avidya, ajnana, aviveka, and how we can come out or those maya. Then it talks about space and time, which it means it does not consider kala as an independent category. When we studied about Nyaya and Vaisheshika, Kala was taken as a separate identity. Here it is not independent. Then we have this Karya Kasha, Karana Kasha, that kind of aspects in Sankhya. Then we have Upadana Karana and Nimitta Karana. Upadana is material cause, that which helps in some activity. The Nimitta Karana is the efficient cause, you can say. Then we have this concept called Kaivalya. Freedom, according to the Sankhya philosophy, is called Kaivalya. So it is derived from Kevala, means absolute state. Then samyak jnanadhigamya, the release as taught by the Sankhya is nothing but an acquisition of the above knowledge. So if you understand the concepts well and practice renunciation or to reach the ultimate, it helps in liberating one from the bondage of birth and death. Then this Sankhya Karika, this is the very important aspect actually. Sankhya Karika contains both Paravidya and Aparavidya. Then the existence and value is also beautifully talked about in this system. You all can go through this in your leisure. Then we have this philosophy of mind, how mind acts. Then there is evolution or utpatti, dissolution, then sthiti. Three kinds of creation, elemental darkness, all these things are talked about in the system. Then there is the great desire of the Sankhyas for knowledge, jnana, is well documented. So right knowledge is the goal in this system. Then this right knowledge will give us vishuddhi, extreme purity, you can say, aviparyaya, free of error, and which is absolute, kevala. Thus, ethics play a great role in our purushartha siddhi, you can say. That is also talked about in this system. And there are some of the karikas given here. Trividha dukkhatyanta nivrittihi atyanta purusharthaha. See how beautiful. He starts with Trividha dukkha atyanta nivrittihi. So it needs to be removed. That is the purushartha. न दृष्टात् दृष्टात् तत् सिद्धिः निवृत्तेः अपि अनुवृत्ति दर्शनात्. So the Kapila Rishi talks about how we need to work on ourselves to get rid of the Trividha Dukkha. Then there are Pravachana sutras or Tattva Samasa, whatever you want to call it. Sankhya Karika by Ishvara Krishna. The material is available online. You please go through this. It is English translation, excellent. Then Bhashya is by Gaudapada. Then Sankhya Tattva Kaumudi by Vachaspati Mishra. Then Sankhya Chandrika is there. Then Vijnana Bhikshu. So Sankhya Pravachana Bhashya. Then Aniruddhas Kapila Sankhya Pravachana Sutra Vritti. Mahadevas Sankhya Pravachana Sutra Vritti Sara. So many texts are there, so many vyakhyas are written on Sankhya Darshana. And this Sankhya Karika is really excellent. So please go through this. And with this, I think I have told you enough.
Mahodaya, so you said we don't have that many classes left. How many sessions we still have left?
Actually, what happened, I wanted to complete this by December actually. But my husband says, no, you cannot do injustice to these topics. The remaining
Very right. Very right.
No, you have taken for each of the topics you have taken 1 hour, and if you want to club everything 10 minutes one subject, you will be doing a great injustice to them. So, and I discussed with Jayakumar Mahodaya also. He said, why do you want to hurry? You take your own time. So actually what happens, December 3rd and 4th week, I am not there. I'll be traveling to Muktinath. So that time, 19th onwards, till end of December, no classes. Before that, I'd finish yoga. Next class would be yoga. After that, I think we will have a revision. So that whatever because after that we will be moving to Purva Mimam. So that is different.
Okay.
So Nyaya Vaisheshika, Sankhya Yoga, we will be covering by next week. So after that, you can have one session for revision. Then we will take up Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa from January onwards.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
So I don't want to hurry. Even if you want to hurry, I cannot hurry.
No, actually, I was feeling a bit sad that you said the sessions are coming to close. So, in fact, I was thinking of asking Mahodaya that you take Amarkosha classes as well, no, Mahodaya?
Yeah.
I have you I don't know because I have never studied Amarkosha, but I was thinking of asking you for details for that so I can join.
Yeah, you can join, no problem. You can talk to Narayanan Mahodaya and join.
Okay. Dhanyawada, I'll do that.
अस्तु, समापयामः वा? ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ.
धन्यवादः महोदय.